Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is 10 o'clock on Friday, weekend time, and it's February 5th. We'll start the meditation at 10:02, and thank you so much for joining this morning. Thank you. Alrighty, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 10:02 on Friday morning, February 5th, and we're halfway through winter time here, but you can definitely feel winter out there here in Metro Detroit area. We got, I don't know, well, we got 3 or 4 inches of snow, so we got a good snowing down last night, but it looks pretty out there. Any case, let's meditate. So just getting yourself nice and comfortable and just taking in a nice deep breath. And just really letting go of anything any stress, any resistance to life at all, which is stress, right? When you're resisting life, that's stress. And letting go of all the future worries. And in truth, the future never, ever arrives. The past is done, and the future never actually arrives, because everything that arrives, what we would call as the future, is just another present moment right here, right now. And now, right here and right now. It's always a new present moment. And there's nowhere to go, there's nothing you need to do other than to just be here right now. And I invite you to let go of any trying or effort, or no doing is required for this meditation. You don't need to enhance it in some way with energy healing work, or let go of your imagination, enhancing it, just to simply purely be as the isness, as the I amness, as the pure presence and awareness that you are. Nothing is required at all. And for those of you who are able to access the I am presence, the isness and the truth of who you are, I invite you just to look beyond the mind, look beyond the body, look beyond all the thoughts and beliefs and feelings. Look beyond all the stories and ideas of who you think you are as a person. Just letting go of all of that. It's so crazy in so many ways how we have been, well, I want to say sold a bill of goods as to who we are. We're born into this world and we're assigned a name, and we're called that name throughout our life. And maybe you or somebody else would describe the one they call Brett or Michelle or Nancy or Sharon or whoever it is. People call out the name as if that's who you are. And we have this story that we've concocted behind it to describe who we are. I'm inviting you to let go of all those descriptions. Because if you don't, you will be caught in the person of who you think you are, the personality, the image, all the stories, beliefs, labels. And on the other hand, just to experience this beautiful freedom of who you are, that literally requires absolutely nothing to be free, to be at peace, to be in joy, to be in love. There's no fighting against life. And there's no attachments or desires. Being with God, as God, and just experience that pure beingness is absolutely enough. And that word is not enough. The word enough is not enough. Because that too is there's some kind of description or explanation of what's possible, and we're talking about something that is beyond any description or explanation. And of course the question is, how do we not only access this truth, but how do we live that? How do we be that? I don't even know if that's correct to say to live it. It just is. It just is. Right now, I just invite you just to be aware of your body. Just simply notice it. And when we are practicing being aware of anything, it connects us with the awareness of who we are. That place that is beyond anything physical. And if you consider being aware of your physical body, your physical mind, whatever your body is being supported on right now, chair, bed, the floor, we are the ones being aware of that. That's why it's possible to have this experience called life. Without consciousness, without awareness, we couldn't know that anything actually exists. But with that said, those physical things that do exist are simply part of the manifestation, the physical manifestation, to assist us in remembering our true nature. And so the play of life is simply to be aware of all the physicalness and be aware of the non-physicalness. But as you're aware of the physicalness, you become aware of the universe. You become aware of everything that life has to present itself. And then you can recognize those things that are not in complete flow and harmony with life. And what I'm noticing for myself right now is I'm noticing a certain agenda. I can feel myself coming from my head some. So I'm just going to be aware of that. There's nothing bad or wrong. It's just simply the experience I'm having right now. And I'm just going to let that go and just sink deeper into the formless conscious awareness, the pureness of God itself. Maybe there will be words, maybe there won't be words. Maybe it'll just be silence to help us to remember that we are the silence, that we are beyond words, descriptions, and labels. And I just invite you right now just to be aware of your heart and just allow in love, allow in blessings, allow in support. And although your true self needs none of that because it is that, sometimes it's helpful just to allow in all the love, blessings, support, the grace, just to allow it in until you move beyond the allowing in and you just are that. You are that peace, that love, that joy, that grace. And how far away is the true you? How far away is the true you? Is there any distance? Is there any distance to the true you? No, there's not even 1 inch of separation or distance. Because if there was distance, then that is not who you are. There is no distance between the conscious awareness of who you are. It is you. So there can't be any distance or separation. And is this true you just visiting? No, it's not visiting, it's you. You can never get rid of you. All the times we spend emptying out, clearing out, looking beyond the physical, there you are. And you have always been and you will always be. You cannot get rid of you. There is no distance from you. You cannot diminish you. And you cannot fade away. And it's helpful for me to share sometimes when I feel I'm coming from my head and not fully from my heart. And right now I'm noticing. So I want to just share with you, honestly with you, because it helps me, and I also feel sometimes this can be a good example of how we drift. But it's not actually us that's drifting. It's just that we're coming more in contact with our personality, with our person, than we are of our true self. And so I'm just noticing. I'm noticing that there's a part of me which is my ego self, that has a certain agenda of how I want this to go. My ego self says that it wants more people. How do I make more money from doing meditation? Actually, how do I make any money doing it? And just of being aware of those thoughts. And there's nothing bad or wrong about any of those. And then another thought comes up that I even mention money. Who is the one that is aware of those thoughts? Who is the one that is aware of any agenda? Who is it that doesn't need anything different than what it is? Doesn't need anything to be any different than what it is. And so sometimes the mind, the ego, will creep in and will identify with that in some ways. So the only reason I can be not fully in my heart is that in some way I'm identifying with these thoughts, that they're true in some way, that my person is real. That's the only way. And so, like you, I witness those. I witness that thought that says, I don't want this experience right now. I witness the thought that says, oh boy, I hope I don't lose who's meditating with me right now. I witness the thought that says, wow, will they still come back? These are all thoughts that come from my person, that come from the story of what I've conjured up over the years as to who I've believed myself to be. And the reason there's nothing wrong with these stories is because I am not the story, no more than you are any story or concept as well. And so right now I invite you, as well as myself, my small self, to just let go of any attachments whatsoever as to how life is supposed to look. And when we let go of our attachments, we then can connect with the truth that no matter what life brings us, we can be at peace. Not only can we be at peace, we are peace. We are that. And it's only our agendas and our desires and attachments to wanting life to be different than what it is that peace falls away. And if it does fall away, just notice that. And as soon as you come back to noticing it without needing to fix or change it, you've arrived back at peace. You've arrived back home to who you are, the one who is witnessing all of it and does not need anything to be any different than it is. So as soon as you're noticing that you want it to be different than what it is, notice that you are now back in your person, back in your ego self, back in the self that has all kinds of attachments and all kinds of agendas of what it needs life to be in order to be happy. I've noticed that sometimes when I'm in my head and I reveal that and I don't fight it and I just allow it to be, there's times where it's some of the best meditations that come through, because we're calling out our false self. We're like, no, 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 no. I see you. I see you. I see exactly what you're doing. And you know what? It's okay. You can do or say whatever you want to. I'm just going to witness that and understand and realize that that is not me. That is just an idea of who I have thought myself to be. That is my person, my story, my script. I am the one that is witnessing you. You, the story, you, the person. And right now, the word silence comes to my mind. I don't even want to say comes to my mind, comes to my awareness. Silence. Silence is that space between the thoughts, between the ideas, between the stories, between the agendas. Silence is that place that transcends the mind. Silence is you. And true intelligence, true wisdom arises out of the silence, out of the stillness. If you're noticing your mind's being busy and has all these thoughts and trying to solve the problems, you can know and trust that it is not you. You are the one that is silent and still and simply witnessing that. And I'm noticing a thought again coming in my head that says, I don't really understand the silence. I don't really understand the stillness. And it's beautiful, actually, when we have these thoughts. Why? Because there's a belief that we're carrying as if that is the truth. But life is saying, I'm going to give you this experience to help you to become aware that you are not that belief. Let me say that again. Life is bringing what we need to help us to become aware of these beliefs that are blocking us from the truth of who we are. Because as long as we're holding on some kind of story and belief, we will never fully realize the stillness and the truth of who we are. And so life comes knocking at the door saying, hello, hello, do you see this false belief that you have bought into? And you might have a belief right now that says, I want to be enlightened. I want to awaken. And there's nothing wrong with that thought. There's nothing wrong with that belief. But I do want to bring your awareness to just notice, who is it that's saying, I want to be awakened? I want to be enlightened. Because the true you is already that. And the ego, the person, says, no, 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 no. You don't understand. I can't be that because this needs to happen or that needs to happen. And when these things happen, then I can have that experience. But can you see that that is just another play of the mind that prevents you from recognizing the truth that you already are? And I get caught in that trap all the time personally. But one of the reasons I love these meditations is I get to return home to who I am every single day. And yes, I get caught in my person and I drift away, and I have all these thoughts like, oh my God, why is life so hard? And oh, I feel so grumpy today. Oh my God, it's all snowy out there, and my God, when am I going to actually find some real work? These are all plays of the mind, all plays of the ego, all the stories that we have bought into as if it's the truth. And so life comes along beautifully and supportively, comes along to present something, some kind of experience to help you to see, oh, okay, I'm caught in the person again. I'm caught in the illusion again. Let me just let that go, and let me just return to the present moment. Let me return to conscious awareness, which is back home to who I am. I don't even want to say back home. It's just home. It just is. Because we can never get rid of our true self. We can only let go of those ideas that block us from seeing that we were that all along. And the awareness that comes to me right now is just that you are all so beautiful and perfect exactly the way you are. And so when you hear or you become aware, when you become aware of thoughts that are counter to that truth, notice them and just allow them to gently pass on by and return to the present moment. Return to conscious awareness. And that is the dance of life. Thoughts come up, beliefs come up, feelings come up, frustrations or any emotions come up, and then we become aware. Okay, I see. I was caught in my person again, my personality, my ego. And it's okay. It's okay. The mind can be as busy as the mind wants to be. It's okay. That is not me. I am not the thinker of the thoughts. The mind is the thinker. And I have to say, the mind is the stinker. I like that. The mind is the thinker and the mind is the stinker. It stinks up everything. It makes life stinky. It makes life difficult and challenging. But it's actually not, the mind is not the problem. It's that we're not being conscious and aware that the mind is the problem and that the thoughts are creating troubles because we're believing them to be true. But again, the mind is not the thinker. The mind is the stinker. I might have to write that on the bathroom wall later on. Very profound. I am grateful. I am grateful to return to who I am. And I'm grateful that you're here. And I'm grateful that you get to be a witness of all of it. All the beauty of life. You get to experience the beauty of life no matter what the mind and the person tells you of how bad it is. It's still beautiful. It's still perfect. And there's gratitude in there. You can be grateful amidst it all if you are simply being the objective witness of it all. Objective meaning that you're being aware of it without needing one single thing, one single thought, one single feeling, one single belief to be any different than it is. Please hear that. You can have whatever thought, whatever feeling, whatever belief, whatever emotion, whatever experience. None of those are the problem. It's only a problem if you're not being conscious and aware that that's not who you are. You are simply the one witnessing it. That's all. You are the witness to all of them. So when it feels like life is slapping you around a little bit, I invite you just to come back to the present moment and just be a witness of those thoughts, those beliefs, those feelings. And in that place, there is peace with all of it. When you have let go of all resistance to any of your thoughts, beliefs, or feelings, not needing to change any of them because you recognize you are not them. You are the one watching them, witnessing them. I know I say a lot of these things over and over. And I notice the thoughts in my head sometimes, like, oh, wow, I've said this so many times. But what's also true for me, as I let go of that story, that belief, and I trust that the words that are coming through need to be said over and over again. So we can stop identifying with these false beliefs, and that we can continue to pull down the veil of illusion that has blocked us from recognizing the truth that we already are: peace, joy, love, and perfectly one with God. Yes, you are enough. You are beyond enough. There is not one single thing required from life to experience and be the truth, peace, joy, love that you are. Not one single thing required from life. You don't have to wait for one more thing. Please hear that. You don't have to get anything external, certainly. No more, you don't need more money, right job, right relationship. You don't need to be loved by or approved by anybody. You don't need to accomplish some great feat or save the world. Oh, now I can be at peace. I have saved everybody. Because our ego wants to do that, right? That's our ego wants to do that. It wants to serve people. It wants to save the world. There's nothing wrong with serving people. But why are you serving the people? Are you serving the people because you think it's the right thing to do, or that you need to earn your way back to heaven? That heavenly state of who you already are? No, 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 no. There's nothing you need to do to earn yourself back to who you already are. Again, please hear that. There's nothing you need to do. There's nothing you need to wait for to happen. There's nothing required to happen in order for you to be who you already are. All that's required is to just simply return to the awareness, the conscious awareness as to who you are. You are the one conscious and aware of all of it, and don't need any single bit of it to be any different than what it is. And you don't need something else to happen. No more waiting. You are home. You are here right now. You are the one that is aware of here right now. You are the one that is aware of my voice, of your body, of your thoughts, of your feelings, of your beliefs, of your stories, of your person. You are the formless, non-physical conscious awareness right now, right here, right now. That is you. And there is no distance from you. You are conscious awareness. You don't need to travel anywhere. You don't need to go one single inch to get to you. It is you. And there is absolutely nothing you need to earn to be you. Nothing. We spend so much of our time in self-talk. You're a good person. Don't be so hard on yourself. And I don't want to make fun of that. You know, some people I know, based on where they're at, they may find that helpful. And yet, all of you that are here right now, there comes a point in time where you recognize that since you're not those thoughts, you're not those stories, you don't need to entertain those thoughts or stories, and you don't need to do a self-talk to fix them, because there's nothing to fix. It's not you. When you have the recognition that you are not the thinker, there's nothing to fix. When you have the realization that you are not the thinker, there is nothing to fix. So you see, we spend all this time trying to fix what we think is broken about ourselves. But the only thing broken is our belief that we are the thinker, that we are the thoughts in the first place. And that is what is called removing the tree from the root. Because we spend so much time healing issue by issue, cutting off branch by branch, when all you need to do is remove the tree from the root. What is that? That is recognizing that you are not the thinker, you are not the mind, you are not the thoughts or the beliefs or the feelings that come along with it. And when you have that recognition, you don't need to spend one single moment on trying to fix something, because there's nothing to fix. You recognize that you are not the broken one. You are the one who is aware of the broken one. And I say broken one, it's just the stories and ideas of who you have thought yourself to be. And as long as you come from the mind, you will always experience yourself as broken or not enough. You can never ever satisfy the mind, never. The mind judges. It judges. And as long as you come from the mind, you will always be in judgment. You will always be in fear. And as A Course in Miracles says, there's only fear or love. That's all. When you transcend the fear, the only thing that's left is love, is you. So right now, I just invite you to become conscious and aware of your breath. And as you see, the breath happens all by itself. There's no trying, there's no effort, there's no doingness required. You are simply the witness to the breath. And there's a reasonable chance some thoughts will come in, that the mind will fight for its existence to be somebody. I am somebody. I am special. I'm going to show the world that I am successful. I am loving. Even those, to show the world that you are loving or wise or peaceful, that's still the ego. Your true self doesn't need to prove any of this. It just is that. So just watch the tricks of the mind sometimes. And I notice my mind a lot of times when I'm caught in my person. I'm wanting to convince the world that I am somebody special. I am wise, I am loving, I am patient, I am kind. All these are stories of the ego. Beware, they will present themselves. And that's okay if they do. Just be aware, just be conscious and aware of them, and recognize that that is not the truth of who you are. And now once again, just coming back to being conscious and aware of your breath. When the thoughts come in, simply notice them. You don't have to entertain them in any way whatsoever. Just allow them to gently and effortlessly pass on by, and come back to being aware of the breath. And let's practice that now. And if your mind has drifted, just don't worry about how busy the mind is. It can be as busy as it wants to be. Just let it do its thing. You are not the thinker. You are not the one. You are the one witnessing these thoughts. So as soon as you recognize the thoughts, that recognize that your mind is being busy, just simply notice it. Just simply notice it and come back to the present moment, which is to say, to come back to the awareness, conscious awareness of who you are. And you can use the breath or just return to the present moment into the stillness. Either way, it brings you back to a focal point of awareness. And again, just returning to the present moment, returning to just being aware of all of it. And again, just returning to the present moment, returning home to who you are, conscious awareness. And just know also that sometimes the more you become conscious and aware, sometimes the mind can actually get busier because those beliefs that the mind is presenting, those old stories, have always been there. But the more you become conscious and aware, then you begin to recognize beliefs and thoughts that have always been there, but now you're ready to be aware of them and to release them, to let them go. So the more you become conscious and aware, which means sometimes the more you become conscious and aware of the thoughts and beliefs that you have carried that are asking to be released. So if the mind does get busier, just notice it. Keep practicing, returning to the present moment and being conscious and aware. we're going to bring this meditation to a completion. So if you'd like to continue meditating, please mute or turn your device off. And thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. And for those of you who are ready to finish, just taking in a nice deep breath. Just re-energizing this beautiful body that gets you around so generously. And maybe moving it, stretching it a little bit. And taking your time, and whenever you're ready, opening your eyes. And let's see, let me go check Facebook first here and see if anybody wants to say hi. Moving it, stretching it a little bit. Whoops, turn that off. I don't see anybody on there right now, so I'm going to switch over to conscious breathing. Yes, conscious breathing. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And let's see here. I'm going to also go over to Facebook right now, or YouTube rather. And anybody wants to say hi out there? Oh, okay. Yeah, you know, is it Oli? I'm guessing, is that Swedish? So thanks for joining. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm really grateful to have you here, and you made a nice comment the other day, so thank you for that. And glad you're able to join. Let's see. Well, I don't know if you're subscribed to my YouTube channel or not, but I guess you get most of the information. But I do meditation 10 o'clock every morning, except for Wednesdays and Sundays. Sundays I don't do anything, but Wednesday nights I go on YouTube and Facebook Live, or excuse me, Zoom and Facebook Live. So if you want more information, maybe I'll post my schedule on there. And that's Sandy. Your sharing is very helpful. I thought you were in my head. Oh, so maybe Oli. So it looks like it's you, Sandy, and Oli's out there. I'll respond to him and share the schedule because I know he's joined a couple times. So let's see. I'm going to pop back over to Facebook real quick, and I guess that's everyone who wants to share from there. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining. And let's see. Tomorrow, Saturday, I'll be on at 10 o'clock in the morning for those who want to join. Okay. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. All right. Bye bye. Okay, let's see, Sandy. Thanks for saying hi to Oli, and let's see here. I'm going to actually send a message and see if he gets it. I don't know how this works. Do you get messages after we kind of sign off, or? Thanks, Sandy. Thanks. Love you too, my friend. I'm just wondering if you get messages after I sign off, or we sign off, and if it still goes to you. Let's see. Oli, I want to give them the meditation schedule. I turned Facebook off, so they're not on here anymore. Hi, Oli. My schedule is